What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Jackal Games, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a discussion wish list of something that I would love to see when it comes to Silent Hill, and I think they need to do this. So I would like to see some type of remaster HD re-release for all the old Silent Hill games. Not a remake, but not a remaster in the sense of Dead Rising Deluxe or Crash. Just the original games with higher resolution, what an emulator would do, and to have them available on modern platforms. And I'm going to talk about why I want to see this. So I am a fan of the Silent Hill series. It's finally back and alive with Silent Hill 2 Remake and Silent Hill F. And while it's cool to have a remake of Silent Hill 2 and then an announcement of Silent Hill 1 Remake, I still think it would be worth having the original games be re-released on the modern platforms. Now, the games I would love to see get re-released on the modern platforms from the Silent Hill series is Silent Hill Origins, Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 4, and I would say throw Homecoming and Downpour in there as well. Now, one of the big main reasons I think this would be worth doing is that a lot of those older Silent Hill games are so expensive. They cost so much money to actually buy those games for their original version. You can get the HD collection to play 2 and 3, but it's not their best versions as it's been shown online, and what I've been told, it's just not their best version. So I think one of the big things that would be great if they did a re-release is they can make all these games actually affordable. Because if you want to play Silent Hill 1 or 2 or 3 or Origins or 4 or Silent Hill Downpour and Homecoming, you're going to be paying a lot of money. It's very expensive to get those games. So I think doing a re-release of all those games in like a collection or something on modern platforms, have it be, PS5, Series X, PC, Switch 2, it would allow the games to be cheap and people would be able to actually play them, and they would be affordable, and that would be really nice to see. But another reason I think it would be worth doing is because it would be nice to have the old Silent Hill games enhanced and done up in higher resolution. I mean, emulation is nice if you have access to it, but for those that aren't familiar with it or just mainly play on console, this would be a nice thing to see, because I got to experience Silent Hill Origins with done up graphics and emulation. It looked really nice, and I know they did an enhanced edition of Silent Hill 2. And I know one of the things I've heard with the Silent Hill HD collection is apparently they lost the source code for Silent Hill 2. I heard the same thing for 1, but the question I always brought to the table when it comes to the source code is, if anybody's a developer, anybody does any kind of development in games, please answer this question for me, because I've always been curious about this. If a developer loses a source code to a game, couldn't they just track down a physical copy of that game they lost a source code to and get the source code that way? Or could they just get an emulated version that someone already made and that be their source code? Let me know in the comments if that's possible, because I don't see why they couldn't just copy something from the disc of the game they lost a source code from, or take something from emulation and do it that way. But I would love to see this, maybe even throw Shattered Memories in there. I haven't played that one as well, but since Silent Hill is back, I think it would be a chance for people that are new to Silent Hill to be able to experience the rest of the series. Because I did, find ways to be able to play most of the series last year, and I enjoyed my time with it. I liked most of the games aside from like Silent Hill 4. That's my least favorite. But I still think it would be very nice to see them do a HD collection, a proper one, where you just take the original games, re-release them. All you're doing is just give it higher resolution, frame rate boost, and you put it in a collection or however you go about it, and you re-release it for all the modern platforms. That way it can be played and they can be preserved and they'll be cheap again. And I think it would be really cool, and I think it would do really well, to be honest, and I'd love to see it. Like some of the things I'd love to see if they did this, like for example Silent Hill Homecoming. I enjoyed playing that game on Xbox 360, but something I would love to see them do if they re-release that game is get rid of the grain filter. I really hated how that game forced you to have the grain effect. I didn't like that. I wish you could have turned it off. That's something I think to get added in there. And Silent Hill Downpour had some bugs in it. It was kind of choppy with the frame rate. I just think it would go a long way for them to do this. Just because you're remaking old games or you're doing something like Crash and Spyro doesn't mean the original still isn't worth playing or going back to. I still think there's something worth in those versions. So yeah, this is just a discussion wish list video I wanted to make about why I would like to see a Silent Hill HD kind of collection for all the old games. I think it would be great, and hopefully someday they can do it You know, it's cool to get remakes, but I'd like to get the original versions as well. And I feel like the whole original version of a game getting re-released, and there's times where it seems like it's neglected. Like with the new Dynasty Warriors 3, they're doing an updated version, which is nice, but what about the old version? You know, I did always want to play the old Dynasty Warriors games, just HD'd up on new consoles, but still their original version, just like what they do with RE4, and they re-released it several times. And like Capcom had to be convinced, for example, to re-release the old Resident Evil games on GOG because they feel like the remakes are a superior experience. But I do disagree with that because I think there's still value in the different versions of it, you know? Games that were made at different times by different developers. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you'd want to see something like this. But yeah, hopefully if they did do this, they would learn their lessons from Silent Hill HD Collection and actually do it right this time. If they can figure out the whole source code things. I'm not a developer, so yeah. But peace out.